All right, so I am here. We are here to talk about the very limited nickel rebound, aka the Nicky rebound. Um, but we will get to that. I want to do like a little unboxing of it, show you everything that's included, and explain sort of the story of it. The story starts back with the original Dunk. I always have been attracted to premium metal plated yo-yos, copper, nickel, things like that. So I knew if I was going to make a yo-yo, I wanted to have plated yo-yos as special editions. That's something that started back with Anti-Yo, I believe. Was probably one of the earliest people to do it. Some of the wets and models like that were released in copper, and it was always really cool. So the finished patinas, it adds a little weight to the yo-yo, and it just looks cool. When people ask me about it, it is mostly purely aesthetic value that you're gaining from plating a yo-yo. But it's a finicky process, as I learned with the first original Dunk. I got copper plated. Um, these came out okay, but I got a lot of B grades, unsellable, unplayable yo-yos, not even B grades. And the plating, you can see a little bit on the edge of this, just starts to chip away over time. Here you can see a spot revealing the silver yo-yo underneath. That's a multitude of reasons. I think the plating process itself wasn't done very well. And I also think the quality of the aluminum of the original Dunk, the 6065 from Magic Yo-Yo, just wasn't up to par to be copper plated, unfortunately. There were a couple pieces that came out good enough and people enjoy them and they look great, but I was just very unhappy with the whole process. It was incredibly expensive, and until I find a new shop that will copper plate for me stateside, I'm not really interested in copper anymore because I moved on with the Slim Dunk to nickel, the Nicky Slim. This one is patinaing, as you can see, which is pretty cool. This has got droplets of something on it um, that are turning dark. But don't mind my band-aids. My cat got me real good last night. We were watching a scary movie. He was on my lap and he got scared. Oh my god, dude, his claws. Anyway, so the Nicky Slims came out incredible. They were a huge hit. Everyone loves them. And they play great and they look great. And the best part is this whole process is done an hour from my house at a local plating shop called K&L Plating in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I get to support a local business. They do a great job. It's affordable. It's still very expensive, but it's affordable compared to the copper. And they come out great. You get a couple B grades, but nothing unmanageable. The plating stays on the yo-yo, the most important part, and they just look cool as hell. So that leads us up to the Nicky Rebound. This is what the box will look like. These are going to be $85, and they're going to include a really cool counterweight that you'll see in a minute. Nicky Rebound, very limited. I made 30 of these yo-yos. I gave a lot to friends. Some were B grades. There's going to be under 20. There's going to be something like 18 yo-yos available on my website. So you're going to need to act fast. Usual, there's always a drawing. Every drawing is different. And then I wrote these age beautifully on all the boxes because they do. It says thank you up top. So standard Dunk packaging with a little bit of difference. So the first thing you'll see in the package is these beautiful counterweights by Deadhead Designs, at Deadhead Designs on Instagram, DEDHEAD Designs. They are a 20-sided die. D20. You board game people might be familiar with this. Dungeons and Dragon people maybe. And it's not that I'm a huge 20-sided die fan, but what happened was my vision was a perfectly clear cylindrical, not cylindrical, excuse me, a perfectly clear sphere as a counterweight. And we ran into all kinds of issues. The size of the sphere not matching up with the material and the weight I needed, which is roughly 10 grams for a counterweight, along with bubbles in the epoxy, because the way these were made is one at a time. They were printed into a mold with epoxy. I don't know. You can reach out to Deadhead Designs if you have questions. That's how it was explained to me. I'm not an expert on the process. I don't own a 3D printer, but from what I understand, he has molds, puts them under the printer. The printer prints a special type of epoxy that is UV resistant, so this will not yellow. In theory, this should not turn yellow over time, which a lot of resin products do. This should stay beautiful and clear forever. It's printed into the mold. Then he takes it out of the mold. He has to drill a hole through it. He has to polish it up, and he also paints a thin layer of lacquer over the entire thing. So a lot of work goes into each one of these. They were also not cheap. People have been asking me if these are going to be for sale individually, not with the nickel dunks. I don't think so, but we'll see. If they're a huge hit, then absolutely. But, they'd be a $12 to $15 counterweight by itself. So not exactly the most sellable product for me, but if people love them, people love them, and I'd be happy to get more made. But for now, they are a special edition thing, just coming with the nickel dunks. I think these clear ones will always, I will probably always keep the clear ones special for the nickel dunks. If I do decide to make more, they'll probably be different colors. But the craftsmanship is incredible. I was really happy again to get to collaborate with someone new who's making amazing things over at Deadhead Designs, and it was cool. That's my favorite part about doing the dunks, is collaborating with different people and getting to support them. I get to throw money to other people to help me make my product cooler, and I think this just did a great job. Let's see how much it weighs. They vary by a point of a gram a little bit. This one is coming out to 10.4. I think they go all the way down to 10.2 maybe. You can round it to 10 grams, which is a perfect counterweight. They play great. I've been playing with mine all week. So, inside the box, you will have beautiful nickel-plated Rebound D-size bearing. And you can see it's the same as the Rebound, just nickel-plated. Let's see the weight difference. Original Rebound came out to 64.6 grams. Nickel Rebound, 65.7 grams. So 1.1 grams heavier, which is cool. It feels different. They are not glass smooth like the original Rebounds. That's just the nature of plating. But they play great. I tested extensively. It took me forever. Swapping halves to get the smoothest pieces possible. Say that 10 times fast. Hello, Barreled. It's my cat Barreled. Coming to check out the nickel dunk, the Nicky Dunk. All right. You don't need to be on mic, sir. They aren't glass smooth. I want to make that clear. They don't wobble. They're smooth as hell. They still grind great. They still play great, but they aren't glass smooth. That's just the nature of nickel plating. What else? The other thing that goes along with nickel plating is the bearing seats tighten up because you're putting a plating of metal over the bearing seats. So when I was testing and assembling these, I put them together, open them up, put them together, open them up to get it as loose as possible for you, but they're still rough. Um, they aren't smooth and perfect like the Rebound. It's just the way it is. It's how the nickel ones were as well. Um, I wrote a big disclaimer sheet for the nickel ones, and I included the fact that you should just try to pick your string out when you can instead of disassembling this all the time. Nothing bad's going to happen if you disassemble it all the time. It's just going to be annoying because it's not a smooth, buttery process screwing and unscrewing. It's kind of a wrenching on it a little bit. So just prolong the good vibes and don't avoid doing that if you can. I'm not trying to be negative here about it, but the reason I'm making this video is as an unboxing and also as a disclaimer for anyone buying these. I want everyone to know exactly what they're getting. I don't want anyone being disappointed. So that's it really for the bad stuff. They're kind of a pain to screw and unscrew, and they aren't glass smooth, but that's not a bad thing in my opinion. I've said it before. It's good to have a little bit of vibe so you can tell how fast your yo-yo's spinning, etc. But they are beautiful. They will age beautifully. They're 70-75 aluminum this time instead of 60-65 like the Slim and the dreaded this accident. So, and I'm not disparaging the copper dunk. Like I said, there's some beautiful ones out there, but the ones I ended up with are not so hot. 70-75, so it's a lifetime piece. It will last your whole life. And it's very limited, so you'll have something pretty special. I'm not making these again, ever. This is the only 18 or so nickel rebounds that will go into the world through my website. $85. You get the custom counterweight that will not be remade. And they look great together. The lighting in here sucks. I'm going to go outside now and film some shots of myself playing with this setup so you can see that it's completely playable. It's not just a collector's piece. They're very fun to play with. I've been using mine all week. I've got some dings on it. No big deal. Plating's not chipping off or anything. And I just love how these counterweights came out. They're comfortable in your hand. They're also not just a collector's piece. They're designed for function. I forgot to mention, I was saying we wanted to make the spheres. That was my original vision. And in hindsight, I'm so glad those didn't work because this 20-sided dice is a sphere. A sphere. It is a sphere with facets on it, so it fits your hand a lot better. It's more playable than a sphere would be. Absolutely. So everything worked out the way it should. I think these are the coolest counterweights that have been made since the patent ended. There's been a lot of people making 3D printing counterweights, and they're all awesome. But in my opinion, this is the most polished looking, cool product so far. They're beautiful, and I'm so stoked for everyone to try them. So, Nikki Rebound, that's that. That's their little unboxing. I'm going to stitch in some clips of me playing outside with this thing. Hope it's not too cold out. And, yeah, check it out, Nikki Rebound.